if you're back here and your pieces are touch dry, we're going to need those other bits from the box. We are going to need the bias binding, the pins, and the embroidery floss. So we want to take our bias binding and we're going to find our edge. Now, bias binding has got these two little flaps in here, and what we're going to aim to do is encase the edge, top edge of the bunting in here. About 10 centimetres between each piece. 10 centimetres is roughly 4 inches. 4 inches from the first edge. You could mark it with a little pen or you can hold your finger there. It doesn't have to be completely accurate. You are going to lay the top edge of your bunting on this lip here, and then we're going to fold this top lip over. Now we're going to use one of our pins to hold it in place. If you've got some more pins around the house, by all means add more pins, and then you can see our bunting is going to be completely encased there. If you are a seamstress or you like sewing, you've got a sewing machine at home, you could basically pin all of this in and run a zigzag stitch along the top of the bias binding. Can you see that? If you've got a sewing machine. If you haven't, don't worry, we've got a hand sew method. So this is your embroidery floss. You want to find the end. There we go. And we're going to take ourselves a piece like this. You're going to thread your needle. Pull it through like that, and you're going to wrap a double knot in the bottom like that, just so it's nice and thick and it's not going to come through. Now I'm going to go through to the back, and then I can tuck this in there and then come back on myself again. Keep going. Doesn't matter if it's straight, especially if this is your first time doing any kind of hand sewing. Don't worry too much. Sorry if you're getting a shot of the top of my head here, but this is just the best angle to show you at, I think. And we're going to keep going until we reach the other side. Now, the reason I'm not doing it as one long piece is embroidery thread notoriously will knot up if your piece you are working with is too long. So I'm just using a little piece for each piece of bunting. Like we did at the start, we can hide the tail in here. So we keep going. I really quite like this pink on the green. It'll all be mixed colours in yours because a lot of what I do at the Wonky Pocket is I use recycled materials, and I have boxes of embroidery thread, so I've picked some really cool colours out that are going out, so it'll be a bit of a pick mix. And back through, we're nearly at the end now. Whoop. We're going to come through once more. See, I just poked it in my hand then. And then, when we get to this bit, we can take this pin out, put it safely over there. What we can do, or what we're going to do, sorry, is we're going to come in, but we're not going to go through to the back. We're going to come in this middle bit, if you can see, and we're going to come through just this little layer. We don't want it visible on this side. It's just on the little flap on the inside. So we make a little loop. We're going to come through the loop and up and pull it nice and tight. Okay, so then you can just snip this. You could keep going as well until you've got a bit more, not much left on the end. We're going to snip it, and when we pin the next one, as we stitch, we're going to sew it so that tail is going to be hidden in there. This end bit, what I'm doing is I'm just going to push the needle down quite far and then bring it out. I'm going to pull it tight, snip some of this excess off, and then what it's done is it's just tucked that thread in there so it's not hanging out the end here. Let's move those bits out of the way, and we have just over 2 meters of nature bunting. How much fun was that? I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you've made a beautiful piece of bunting, and I can't wait to see all the pieces you've made. Again, let's say a big thank you to the National Lottery Community Fund for giving us the grant to be able to do this project, and thank all of you for getting on board. Bye bye.